Hey everybody, today we're going to make a cheesy pesto gnocchi. Let's get cooking. So for today's recipe, you will need 4 ounces or 114 grams of basil, 2 cloves of garlic, 1/4 cup or 33 grams of pine nuts, 1 egg yolk, 3 potatoes, 3.5 ounces or 100 grams plus of flour, 2 ounces or 60 milliliters of olive oil, and 3 ounces or 84 plus grams of Parmesan cheese. So let's get started. For the potatoes, poke them full of holes and pop them on a tray to cook in an oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. For the pesto, we will add the pine nuts, basil, garlic cloves, Parmesan, and oil to a blender or processor and blend until we reach a preferred consistency. You can chop it yourself otherwise. I wanted it to be a little smoother here, so I added more oil. Once it's ready, set aside for later. Once the potatoes are out of the oven, we will carefully peel them, not to burn ourselves. And once they're peeled, cover them with saran wrap and pop them in a refrigerator to cool. Once they're chilled, take a cheese grater and grate them. Get the egg yolk, beat it together, and pour it over the potatoes. Add the flour over the top and begin mixing. Now this is where I think I should have used russet potatoes instead of golden potatoes. Because of the starchiness of the golden ones, I add more flour while mixing. But eventually we get to a consistency I like, and it's time to form the dough into a log. Once it's shaped, cut it into 4 equal portions, then take the portion and begin rolling it into a rope about 1 inch thick or roughly 2.5 centimeters before finally cutting them into equally sized little pillows. Once they're all cut, it's time to begin shaping. I was genuinely concerned about them falling apart in the water, so I did not put too much effort and just poked holes in them. But you can leave them as is or do the traditional technique with a fork or a gnocchi board. Once they're all shaped, I'm going to give them a little assistance and place them on a tray into the freezer for about 30 minutes. Otherwise, into a pot of gently boiling water, we'll place one gnocchi at a time, being sure not to overcrowd, and let them cook until they begin to float. This should take about 30 seconds to a minute, but it may take longer if you chilled them in the freezer as I did. Once they float, remove and repeat with the rest of the gnocchi. Be sure to save 1 cup or about 237 milliliters of pasta water, then bring a pan to a stove on medium-low and add some butter. Let it melt and toss on the gnocchi. Let them cook until one side begins to brown, about 2 to 3 minutes, and add pesto to preference and some of the pasta water. Begin mixing it up, and you could probably take it off now, but we're turning off the heat, adding more cheese and the rest of our pasta water, and letting most of the water cook out before removing it to plate. Top it with even more Parmesan, and there you have it, easy gnocchi with a cheesy pesto sauce. This was the first time in years that I've made gnocchi, and I was pleasantly surprised with how it turned out. If you enjoyed this recipe, please leave a like down below and subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you in the kitchen next time.